everybody. Welcome to this week's version of Vision One Media Artist Shoutout podcast. My name is Ella Beth. I'm going to be your host today. And today's guest that we have is a Chicago-born rapper. I believe born.
Yep.
Chicago-born rapper. And his name is JAVON773. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate you. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So tell me a little bit about your musical journey. You're from Chicago.
Yep.
You're in Atlanta here now.
Yep.
What got you involved in rapping?
I have a lot of siblings. It's like 12 of us. You know,
Wow, like cheaper by the dozen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for my mom, it's just me and my sister. But for my dad, the rest of everybody else. And I don't know. Growing up, my sister, she was always like in dance, like commercials, Shoe Carnival commercials, McDonald's commercials, Foot Locker commercials. And then she ended up being like a cheerleader for the Chicago Bulls. You know what I mean? So I was just
cool.
like, man, I want to do something. I just didn't know what I wanted to do because I can't dance. So I'm like, all right.
So you saw her in front of other people, like doing, performing and having audiences, and you were like,
I want
to do that.
She was in this Chicago dance group on the west side of Chicago in Douglas Park, and they had a dance show every Friday, and they won. Like, it was a sold-out show I'm like, wow, she like a star. Like, it was so crazy, and I was like, man, I want to do something. And I remember going to Wisconsin. I'm gonna tell you the whole full story.
Yeah,
I remember going to Wisconsin, and my uncle Chevelle was there. He's my mom's little brother, but like we look alike. We call each other twins. And I remember the rapper T.I. came on TV, and I was like, yo, because he was skinny, light skinned, just like me, you know. And I was like, man, if he can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah, come on.
It just, I don't know, it encouraged me to really do music, The rapper T.I., he influenced me to do music. I don't listen to him anymore, but at that time, I was like, man, he the man. I want to be just like him. I just started rapping.
That's cool. I don't know, is T.I. from Chicago?
No, he's from Atlanta.
Oh, he's from Atlanta.
Yeah. He's from Atlanta.
It's like it's a whole like circle of life. Okay.
And I was watching him, and I was like, wow, he's a man out there. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, don't get me wrong. We listened to Kanye West, Twista in Chicago, but it wasn't like, oh, they made me want to rap, like nothing like that. It was those people from out of town,
Okay.
Yeah, they were very different.
Okay, so when you were listening to rappers in early, in sort of your younger years and earlier on in your career, apart from T.I. And Twista and a little bit of Kanye sometimes, who else would you say has influenced your particular rapping sound and your style?
Ludacris.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a character. I like people that are characters in their music. Like every music video, he had like the big hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was very creative, and he's from Atlanta as well. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, man, these guys are influencing me.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Atlanta. Even being from Chicago, like I've been a fan of New York, Atlanta, just because I like how their culture is, like it's very different than Chicago's culture,
Yeah.
Like Atlanta's very chill, slow paced, and their music is like, it's very bouncy compared to the up north. Up north, we just kind of, I don't know, we're very lyrical. Or if we're not lyrical, we're talking about like the violence in the city, and it's just very fast paced,
Yeah. I would say that is something we were talking earlier about, like the bounce of Atlanta and now that I've been here, I hear that and I'm like, oh, I get that. Like there is a definite like feel to the music, as opposed to, like you said, as someone who's not a huge rapping fan in regards to, I don't listen to a lot of it. I would say that there are artists from up north that like you said, I listen to their lyrics and I'm like, wow. As a songwriter myself, like the lyricism to me that stands out a lot.
Yeah. So I love storytelling in music, especially like from different cultures, just because like down south, they have different stories to tell versus up north. Like we're not rapping about going to Florida every weekend. You know what I mean? Like you guys are doing it different out here. You guys like take joy in the big cars with the wheels. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's different.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting too, what you say that about, because it's true, because rapping in the South, they talk about the big wheels and the big cars.
Yeah.
And conversely, just on the flip side of the coin, country music also talks about their big trucks with their big wheels and stuff. So it's definitely a Southern thing.
It's a Southern thing. I like it a lot. I'm embracing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were saying that you really enjoy collaborating with other artists. You've always loved the cultures and the different sounds from different cities.
Yeah.
So tell me about your collaboration journey. You said that you've worked with a producer from Detroit.
Yeah. So it was a lot of producers from Detroit. I can't even just name one now. Like I feel like each song that I've been rapping on that has like a Detroit style, it's a different producer, you know? Like, I just been trying to nibble and dab just to see how their sound fits me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I've always been versatile like that. So I've always, like, I would find a producer in California and he does, like, rock, for example, you know? And I'm like, let me try to experiment on one of his beats, you know?
Yeah.
But mainly, I have a in-home engineer. His name is Mayfair Rich. He makes, like, all of my beats. He's back in Chicago, and he's super dope, super talented. He's 24 as well. We went to high school together, but we didn't really meet until college. You know, it was one of those relationships because I didn't know he went to my high school.
Yeah.
And I found out in college and everything, like, oh yeah, someone introduced me to him. Like, yeah, he makes beats, and you guys went to the same high school together. And Phil can't speak. He has like a stuttering problem, so he makes beats instead, you know? And he's just super dope.
Awesome.
Yeah, super talented. And yeah, I like Phil a lot. He's cool.
Would you say that working with someone that you're similar ages with, went to high school with, went to college together with, that sort of makes for an easier producing experience because this person sort of gets your life in a way, sort of has a similar story?
Yeah, I think it makes it easier to collab, most definitely, especially because, like, he just played me so many, and I will honestly tell him what fits me, what don't, versus other producers. You can't really be as honest with them because they might be real sensitive with the craft, versus me and him, we grew up together, you know, so I can really tell him and then make him better, you know? And Phil plays a real important part of my life because the first video and song we ever produced, I got recognition from Interscope. You know what I mean? From that video.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, Phil, look, we there. This is the first, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he really believed me. And it was just crazy, you know? Like, I still remember showing them because I had a whole little record label showing, you know? So I presented them that song.
Yeah.
Because they was like, oh, all right, let me tell you the story real quick, okay? For some reason, around that time period, I could not write a song longer than 1 minute. It was the craziest thing ever. I don't know what it was, but God was like, you know, just stick with the 1 minute songs.
Yeah.
I go and present my music to the record labels. They like, you guys have one song ready that's 1 minute long, no longer than that. And I had so many. Like,
Like I'm your person right here.
No, yeah, I had like 40 songs that's like 1 minute long, you know? So I just kind of scrambled, picked the best one. It was a beat produced by Mayfair Rich, and I played it, and that's when they were like, yo, this song is dope, blah, blah, blah. It's still up on my page, you know, and I still go back and look at it to see like who liked it. I'm like, man, these are big, huge people, you know? And it was just dope. It was just dope. That happened in 2019, but, you know, before the pandemic.
Right.
That whole year messed a lot of stuff up.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I got to where I need to be in life, you know, so...
Yeah. I mean, you're here, you're rapping.
Yeah.
So now that you're in Atlanta, do you feel like your sound has changed? And if it has changed, how does that affect how you work with some of the producers like Mayfield Rich and people you've been working with for a while?
I definitely feel like my style has changed just because I'm more like by myself, you know? Like, I moved down here with my girlfriend, of course, but like I'm really, you know, down here by myself. I don't have the whole team that I had in Chicago, you know? So I'm trying out different beats, trying out different sounds again. And I'm trying to see what Atlanta likes versus what I like, you know? So I'm like, okay, I could definitely do that, you know? And I've recorded like 5 songs since I've been here in Atlanta. And it might not seem like a lot. I could have recorded way more, but...
No, 5 songs in like, what? About the same time as me, like less than a year, basically.
No, yeah, we moved out here like October. I came October like 15th. You know what I mean?
Of this year?
Yeah.
And you record, and I've only recorded 5 songs since I got here in October. Come on. That's production. Like, that is producing. Good work.
Appreciate you. Yeah. I'm always hard on myself though, just because like I want to record so much more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always have this thing like one day when I go on tour, no matter like what the big artist is, it could be Drake, for example. He's like, dude, play me some music. I want to show him like a road trip's worth of music.
Right, a whole catalog. Like, all right, I don't just have like some music. I've got a whole playlist.
Yeah.
Like, sit down.
Sit down, yeah. Brace yourself.
Yeah.
Different versions of Javon, like, yeah.
And also, I'm sure like different versions of Javon, but also like different, to use a Taylor Swift term, like different eras and how your sound and how your approach to music changes over the years and over time. That's super cool to hear. So I want to ask about the artist that you work with who's in the UK, the illustrator.
Yeah,
so
yes.
on your Instagram profile, you've got some super, super cool images that are obviously you.
Yeah.
And I want to hear about that.
Yeah, so her name is Alice. She's super dope. We've been working together since I think the year 2016. Like
wow, okay.
right after high school, I went to college, and around that time period, I met her through my dancer friends, the Future Kings. And she used to always do their illustrations. So I reached out to them like, yo, you think she can do something to mine? They're like, oh, yeah, just reach out to her. We'll let her know that, you know, you're family.
Yeah,
so I reached out to her. She's like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. He told me you guys are like family. Yeah, I do some artwork for you. You know, obviously, you know, she still charged me, but it's not like the high price.
Right,
like, you know, everybody else. But
mates rates.
Right. But it's definitely dope. She comes through every single time. I don't let anybody else do my artwork and stuff for her just because it's very unique, you know?
Right.
And
it keeps it, you know, like, sorry to interrupt, but like in a world where as an artist you're always evolving, it's nice to have something that's constant, you know, because it links all the projects together.
Exactly.
So I love that.
Yeah. So I first started off with just like my face. Mm-hmm. So she made like probably like 10 cover arts with just my face doing like different facial expressions, you know, and then full body artworks, you know, and that really tells stories within what the song was about, you know. So I always try to catch people's attention with the cover art. I think the cover art is really like the most important thing next to the video, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's the first thing people are going to be staring at, you know?
Right.
So.
right. You know, it's especially on the social media that we use now that's current. It's easy to, if you're being scrolling, like sometimes the sound won't catch you, you know? But images, cover art, videos, that's definitely, I mean, we were just talking about that before, how TikTok works because it's quick videos. So, yeah, absolutely. You've got to have a good product that people can see first because they eat with their eyes, you know?
Exactly. No, 100%. Yeah. So, Alice, she's dope. She does every single one of my illustrations. She's going to do another one for me and this another artist once we drop the song and everything. And that cover art I'm hoping to gain so many people attention again because I haven't dropped music since the summertime, to be honest with you, because I'm getting ready for the move for Atlanta, you know? So in the meantime, I'm filming so many videos.
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, one of the videos I showed you beforehand, that's why I'm ready to like, okay, I'm back in Atlanta. I get to settle down, and now I can start dropping, you know, all this music.
Putting things out and putting your time, and I love that. So you said that you're working with a new artist. I believe her name is
No Montana Hannah.
No Montana Hannah.
Yeah. Look, it was very confusing for me too at first. I called her Hannah Montana at first. I didn't know her name, but her name is No Montana Hannah. She's a dope artist from Chicago. She's super talented, super talented. She has her own team as well, and just like me, I have my own videographer. She does too, and I think artists like that, we need to collab and expand, you know what I mean? And her fan base can be my fan base can be her fan base, especially the male and the woman. You don't see too many collaborations like that, you know? So I'm just trying to make that happen, you know?
And so with having her as the guest artist of the feature on your new track, was it her voice style or was it her songwriting? Like what was it that caught your attention for your music?
I think it's her voice style because she's like very melodic. She's not just a singer, you know what I'm trying to say? Like she's she can rap if she wanted to, you know, and she still has the auto-tune sounding good. And she's just super dope. I like how her music videos come out, the vision for them. And so that's why I'm like, I need to collab with a real creative like that, you know?
Yeah. And especially someone that you mesh with on a creative level. I think, you know, the world is full of creatives and as much as it's super important to network and have a wide network. There's definitely times when you'll meet people who are like what I like to call like heart collaborators. Like you just know, like your creative vision just is in tune with mine. Like we should definitely do something together.
I have a lot of artist friends who I listen to. Like I try to listen to the whole mainstream, you know, music and everything, but it's a lot of artists like from Chicago. I'm like, yo, he's dope, and we just so happen to be friends. You know, for example, this guy Carter Slake, he's from Chicago. This guy's dope. Like he's out of this world. He sounds like Travis Scott.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
cool.
He's dope. He makes his own beats, so that's why I'm like, oh yeah, he's real talented. You know, like my friend Chris LaShawn, for example, he's Redman Method Man's nephew. The guy is amazing with the bars. You know, he's very musically inclined. He'll write 10 songs with you in the studio and record all of them and mix and master all of them right in front of you.
Right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's dope. You know who Redman Method Man is?
Redman is not the Redman from, please don't cancel me, from, what's that?
The movie How High. You ever seen that movie on Netflix?
No.
No, all right. It's a movie.
Okay, but I'm going to go watch it. Wait, I'm going to put it on here now.
It's called How High. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
The two main characters, that's my friend's uncles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
cool.
They're musically inclined. They're talented rappers, yeah.
I thought when you said Redman, I was just thinking of the Redman and Foo from what's that duo called? They had that.
Which one? No, you're fine.
What was that song? Party Rockin'. Isn't one of those guys? I'm showing my age here, bringing it back. Like
I think it's she's talking about LMFAO.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those guys named Redman. I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
It could be. Yeah, no, it could be. That's some they're a down south group too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're from Florida.
Okay. Cool. I was like, hey man, I mean, cool. Like that's another sort of whole sector to network with. Totally different sound.
Now I'm gonna put you on with some good people. Yeah. Those guys, they're musically inclined. Like all my friends are musically inclined.
I love that. I really love to hear that. And I think as an artist as well, when you have people who are, I mean, for me, it's not always just musically inclined, but like artistically inclined. It makes you want to be better.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that because you see your friends working and grinding and hustling and creating more. And it's like, like I do that too. I want to, come on.
Yeah. I've always been surrounded by creatives, like I always like to think I don't have normal friends. Like all of my friends, they're all like creatives or they're athletes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just rap, you know what I mean? So they just kind of like, oh yeah, Javon, he cool. Blah, blah, blah. And that's how I'm always in the mix. I don't have any normal friends. Right. All my friends.
No one goes to the office and does like a 9 to 5 and crunches numbers. No,
It's probably just me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like all my friends, I'm it's
the most normal.
Yeah, the most normal. Everybody else, they're like, I don't know, they're always doing creative stuff,
Yeah. No, it's a great way to live and it's a great way to be an artist, I believe.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, can you shout out your social media handles and where to find your music online so people watching can come and listen?
Of course, all social media handles are JAVON773, JAVON773, all put together. Same with Spotify, Apple Music. You'll find all my stuff right there. If not, just go to the Instagram, the JAVON773, and it's a link in the bio that has all of my music videos, updated daily. So if I just drop something, it's gonna be like a new video in my bio.
Cool. Yeah. And when is your next release coming out? Can you give us like a ballpark date?
Definitely this month. I was gonna drop something today, but it's just so rainy outside. I feel like no one was on social media, so I was like,
because they were outside.
Right? I don't know. They could have been asleep all day, So I'm just like, okay, I'm not gonna drop anything. I'll probably drop something next week. It's definitely before Christmas. I'm gonna drop like 2 videos.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 videos just to keep the ball going. Because I'm gonna film another video when I go back home for Chicago.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna, I'm just stacking
keep
up.
It going.
Yeah, I'm stacking up all the content. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming in. And just to remind you all, is JAVON773, JAVON773 on all social media. Yep. You can go to his Instagram and find all of those links to all your music. And there'll be new music dropping, new videos dropping this month. So make sure that you keep your eyes peeled. And we just want to thank you so much for coming in. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys for having me.
And last of all, if you're an artist in the Atlanta area or from further than Atlanta and you're visiting, we would love to hear from you if you want to be a part of the Vision One Media Artist Shoutout podcast. We would love to hear from you. We would love to put you on, talk about your music, shout you out, shout out all your links. So if that's you, let us know, DM us. You can DM me, ella.beth.music on Instagram, and we'd love to hear from you all. So thank you so much and have a great week.
Control with no help of a voodoo. It's all fun and games and she wants it more than you do. Funny how we met cause she saw me first on YouTube. That's not even fair, I don't even think I look cool. She hit me up on my way once again. It was just her and her best friend named Cheyenne. I felt like Ice Cube when he first got shoes in.